would never survive, never recover. I wasn't created to be an overcomer. Told me to give up giving, cause it's over. No hope for a new beginning, no happy ever after. So I settled into a life of mediocrity, believing the lies that they told me, doing only the things that they expected, hoping to be accepted, yes. But God woke me up one day from a life full of lies and defeat, and he told me who I really was. He said, dare to dream, dare to be. I know who I am, whose I am. Should I know who I am, who I am. So I began a journey searching for me and all the wonderful possibilities. My soul's cry I learned to finally hear, giving it permission for one to speak free. Free of condemnation, no muzzle, no struggle, no longer in prison in the people-pleasing bubble. The voice of my soul I could finally hear like deja vu, so close, so dear. Initially in shock, I could hardly believe those words that voice my enemy. I know who I am, whose I am. Said I know who I am, whose I am. Is it possible I heard my soul before, but because I felt inadequate, I chose to ignore? It feels like learning to breathe, using muscles that atrophy, to listen to my soul, my inner voice. Blue pill, red pill, I made that choice. Like the prodigal son, I forgot who I was. Now I got my mind back, and I choose to rise. I know who I am, whose I am. Said I know who I am, whose I am. I know who I am. Won't let no one decide my destiny. I know who I am. Before I was born, God used me. I know who I am, whose I am.
Hello and welcome to the Unity Center of New York City's live stream service. Whether you're local here at New York City or another city or state or country, we're happy you're joining us today. And thank you, Jeannette Bayardelle, for that opening song. We have wonderful music today with Jeannette Bayardelle and Bill and Betsy Peterson. So welcome. We're going to get started here with another sing-along with Bill and Betsy Peterson. Bill is on the piano, and it's God Blessing Me. So if you'd like to stand, let's all sing together, God Blessing Me.
Good morning. Please join me as we sing. God's blessing me over and over again. God's blessing me right here where I stand. Every time I turn around, God's making a way somehow. Over and over again, God's blessing me.
Thank you, Bill and Betsy. That was awesome. God is blessing you. God is blessing all of us. And we got to claim that good, and we just did. Thank you, Bill and Betsy. We've got a few community highlights for you. First of all, this is the first time that we are filming from the Unity Center of New York City. It's been in my home for the past 6 months, and now we're filming here from the center, so this is a wonderful time for us. And however, we don't have congregants yet. It's not time for that yet because of the way things have been in the city and the country and all that. But stay in touch with us, and we will let you know when that time comes to when we will have people actually in the Unity Center. But for now, we bring you into the center through the internet, and we come into your home through the internet. Thank God for that, right? Also, please like us on Facebook, and when you do that, then you'll receive notices about our Sunday service. We have a lot of online activity going on during the week. You'll have access to our live stream there on Facebook. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, click the subscribe button, and then you'll have access to all the whole library of videos, of inspirational videos. You'll have access to all of our Facebook Live weekly posts that we do every single week. So just click the subscribe on YouTube for all of that. And also, if you go to unitycenternyc.com, you can receive our newsletter. Every week we send out a newsletter about what's coming up, when we're going to actually meet in person again. We'll keep you up to date that way. We'll tell you about upcoming events. So if you just go to the newsletter or the website, put your email in for the newsletter, then you'll start to receive that information along with a free guided meditation and inspirational video each week. Now, one of our upcoming events is this week. We're having a World Day of Prayer. It will begin on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and for the 24 hours until 7 p.m. on Thursday, we're going to be doing a guided meditation every hour, a different guided meditation with me every single hour for that 24-hour period. So I hope you will join us. Mark your calendar, 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Now, I'll continue to do the Facebook Lives during the week. So Wednesday, I'll do a noon meditation, and then on Thursday, I'll do a special Facebook Live that will be in alignment with what we're doing for the World Day of Prayer, which is from fear to faith. That's the theme, from fear to faith. So please join us this week, beginning Wednesday at 7 p.m. So let's take a moment now for our prosperity celebration. This is a time where we acknowledge Spirit's presence in our life. We acknowledge the activity of God flowing, the good that's in our life. And if you believe in the message that we are bringing to the world, a message of faith, a message of hope, a message of encouragement and positivity, then we appreciate your support of this ministry. It helps us do what we're doing, and it helps us to expand to do more of it, to bring a message of hope and encouragement and faith to more and more people around the world. So with that in mind, let's just take a moment acknowledging the sacredness of God's substance in our life, God's living energy that blesses us in so many ways, and let us see our gifts as an expression of that energy, an expression of God as our source, and we bless it, acknowledging that divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. I'll say it again, and then I'd like you to say it with me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. And so it is. Amen.
This song says, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart, O wonderful Spirit. Spirit, pour your joy in me, pour your joy into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your love in me, pour your love into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your love in me, pour your love into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, shine your light in me, shine your light into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, shine your light in me, shine your light into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit.
Thank you, Jeannette. We like to do a pre-meditation song to just set the stage for our guided meditation, to help us focus the mind, get quiet and still, and then turn within. So I invite you now to sit upright as is comfortable for your body, and let's just take a nice, long, cleansing, deep breath. Let's take a deep breath in. Good, and let your body relax. Let's begin at the feet and just send the message to relax and to let go. Relax and let go. Become aware of your calves and your thighs and just relax. Relax. Let your abdomen and stomach relax. Relax your hands, your arms, your shoulders. Become aware of the muscles in your chest and relax. Let your shoulders let go. Sometimes we carry around tension subconsciously, and it prevents us from relaxing and being still. Relax the muscles in your back, the upper, the middle, the lower. Become aware of your neck. Notice how your neck feels. Relax the front, the back, the sides. Just send the message to your muscles. Relax and let go. Relax and let go. Become aware of your cheeks, relaxing the cheeks and the eyes, the ears, the whole face, from the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Letting go and relaxing. And know that you are now centered in the Spirit of God, expressing in and as you. You are an expression of the presence of Spirit, just as a wave is an expression of the ocean. There is no separation between the wave and the ocean. The wave has all the essential ingredients of the ocean. And you too are an expression. Right at the center of your being, you are connected with the source of all that is. As Emerson said, you are the inlet and may become the outlet for all there is in God. As you still the mind and turn within, you are in a process of giving of yourself. You're giving of yourself to God. You're giving your precious attention and awareness to the Spirit within you. You are loving God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. As you become still and quiet and turn within, in the most profound way, you are God loving itself, reconnecting like the drop, like the raindrop, reconnecting with the ocean, returning to its source. And as you reconnect to source, you reconnect with everything needed for fulfillment, for abundance, for peace, for love, for all good. It's this connection that many of the saints and sages have referred to, experiencing through prayer and meditation. It's what the way shower Jesus the Christ meant when he said, I and the Father are one. I am a wave in the ocean of spirit. Know that within yourself. I am a wave in the ocean of spirit. Take a few moments now to just hold that thought in your mind. Keep returning your thoughts to that idea. I'm a wave in the ocean of spirit. I'm a wave in the ocean of spirit. And then listen and wait to feel that connection. And when your mind wanders, bring it back to the thought. I am a wave in the ocean of spirit. What would it feel like for a drop to return back to the ocean? I imagine to project human qualities on it, fulfilling a sense of wholeness, a sense of security and stability. Even as things change, like the ripples on the ocean, there's a depth that remains the same. You're a wave in the ocean of spirit. You're a drop in the ocean. And let us know the truth for our friends and family, that each one also is a wave in the ocean of spirit. Each one is an expression of spirit and an expression of God. Has access to everything needed this is our prayer for our loved ones. This knowing, this truth. Could there be a higher thought for another person than that? No, I don't think so. Could there be a greater support for their whole being than to know for them you are an expression of God? And let us know that for all people everywhere. Throughout the planet, let us know that Spirit is everywhere present, in all and through all. All the animals, all the earth, and in and as every person. And so it is. And let us bring our awareness now back to our body, wiggling toes and fingers if necessary, feeling the chair or the couch beneath you, opening your eyes, adjusting to the lighting in your room, and now moving forth, continuing to let your light shine during this time together and throughout this day. Amen.
When life is a challenge and things are just tough, we're sure we can do it, but that's not enough. We tighten our fist, determined we say, I'll do it by God. But not always God's way. Let God, just breathe and let it be. Let God, His plan you're sure to see. You're moving through life when fear takes its grip. That first step is daunting, the fear that you'll trip. Stop fretting, start letting, and you'll surely see God's handiwork handing out joy, and it's free. Just let go, let
Thank you, Bill and Betsy. Probably the most misquoted verse in the Bible is money is the root of all evil. Right? You've heard that said. We might have even said it. Most misquoted verse. Because money is neutral. It's neutral. It's neither good nor bad. It can be used for good. It can be used for evil. Greed might use it for evil, but it supports a lot of good. It supported Albert Schweitzer in the jungle, doing good for the people there. Whenever he would need money, he would go out and he would play a concert and come back and do his work. It supported Gandhi, who lived in poverty. Someone said it took a lot of money to keep Gandhi in poverty and his group of people traveling. Jesus' ministry was supported by money. In Luke, it says that certain women ministered to Jesus of their substance. What does that mean? It means that there were some wealthy women, or not so wealthy, who supported him and his disciples to be able to get the message of truth into the world. Money supports a lot of good. So money is neither good nor bad. It really depends on our attitude in using money, our consciousness in using money. That's why when we look at the proper verse in the Bible, it says the love of money is the root of all evil. In other words, it's our attitude that makes the difference. It's not money, it's our attitude. And our attitudes are very important. How we think about things, the way we look at things changes those things. Attitude is very important. Our attitude about money can either be attracting it or repelling it from our life. And in these times, it's very important that we understand that, because there's a lot of people who are worried about money, understandably, based on the facts, the appearances, based on what you read in the paper, based on what some thought leaders are saying, based on worry and fears that are published. Yes, and very reality that some people are really struggling. I read recently that one out of 6 households didn't have enough food during this whole experience. And that 1 out of every 10 individuals has not been able to pay his or her rent or mortgage on time. Very serious challenges people are facing. Maybe you're not in that situation, but whatever situation we're in, it's very important that we understand the connection of our thoughts, our feelings, our attitudes about money and about the source of the good that we need in our life, so that we can allow a greater flow into our life no matter what's going on in the world around us. Quantum physicists know that looking at the smallest particles, the subatomic particles, that the particles react to the observer. They're changed by the observer. Now think of yourself as a particle in the bigger universe. Now, if it makes sense that on the smallest level, the particles are changed by the observer, how might your attitude and my attitude affect what we're looking at in our world, including money? And that's why I want to talk today about seeing money from a spiritual perspective, so that we're not creating any resistance to the flow of good into our life, that we're unblocking the channels. Because the way we look at things affects the things that we look at. And so, first of all, we need to let go of the negative attitudes that are creating resistance to the flow of good into our life. When I say negative attitudes, generally speaking, we could say resistance of resentment or bitterness or anger or hatred. We could talk about feelings of fear and anxiousness. All these kinds of things can act as resistance to the flow of good in our life. Now, I'm not saying to deny our humanness. I'm not saying to if you feel angry, to not feel it, or to not even express it appropriately in effective ways in communication. Well, what I'm saying is, what is the trend of the way we think? What is the trend of our attitudes during our everyday? Are we making the effort to stay in a flow of positivity? A saint was once asked about what is God, and the saint said, when you feel good, you're feeling God. How could that be? Well, because God is joy. That's a word in the ancient Sanskrit is Satchidananda, which is conscious eternal bliss. God is joy. When you're feeling joy, when you're feeling peace, when you're feeling a sense of confidence and empowerment, you are in tune with the presence and activity of God. And when we're not, when we're feeling something other than those qualities, then that's a clue to us that we're out of sync. We're out of sync. We're creating resistance to this divine flow of good into our life. And so let it not be a reason to feel guilty, because then that's just more negativity on top of it. It's not to be condemning of ourselves. It's not to feel guilty. It's just to say, wait a minute, I need to get myself back in flow. I need to get myself back in sync. That's all. Let it be a guidepost, a sign. Hey, I'm causing resistance to this infinite presence of God, of Spirit, of Source, whatever you want to call it, that wants to flow into our life. He said it is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. That source wants to flow into your life, and it wants to bless you in every way, and it has nothing to do with, well, I don't deserve it, I don't deserve it. Well, it's not about deserving. It's not about God standing out here and go, oh, well, she's got a negative attitude. I don't think I'm going to bless her. That's not what it means. I mean, you can be in a dark room and the light's shining, but if you have the shades drawn, you're not going to get the light. And in this case, we're talking about the shades of negative attitudes. We're saying, lift up the shades and let the light in. And if you're tired of the darkness and you want light, well, then let it be a reminder. Oh, I got to lift up the shades. I got to get myself back in tune with the divine flow and not create resistance. And so it's very important that we look at what are our attitudes about money and to see money in a positive way. Jesus had a positive outlook about money. He knew it was necessary. It's not the whole purpose of life. We're not saying that life is about accumulating money, not at all. But we're looking at money as an expression, as an avenue through which God expresses. Peter and the disciples came to Jesus and said, we got to pay the tax to Caesar. And what did Jesus say? He said, render unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and render unto God the things which are God's. And he told Peter, hey, go catch a fish, and you're going to see a gold coin in that fish's mouth. Use that to pay the tax. Now, some people have misunderstood that and misrepresented it and said, see, money doesn't mean anything in the spiritual kingdom. You don't need money. Now tell me, when's the last time you caught a fish with a gold coin in its mouth? I haven't caught a fish in years, but anyway, it's an idiom of those times. It's a saying from those times. Jesus was basically saying, all right, Peter, we need money to pay the tax. You're a fisherman. Go out, catch some fish, sell it, and then we can pay the tax. That's all. That's it. Jesus knew you got to pay your bills. Jesus recognized we live in a practical world where we have an economy and we've got to use money as a way to work out things, and let's do our fiscal responsibility. Let's pay the tax. And that's what they did. So he knew the importance of money, but underneath the money, he said, render unto God the things that are of God. He recognized that underneath everything is God as the source. See, that's the key. And so how can we begin to see money in a positive way? Because many people have negative attitudes. Money for many people is a symbol of lack. It's a weird thing, but that's the way it is. I think a lot of people, it's a symbol of lack. They get a paycheck and they look at it and it's a symbol of injustice. They don't pay me enough. I'm worth more than this. There's lack, right? For others, it's a symbol of not enough. They look at their checkbook, they look at their bank account, they look at their check, and it's like, how am I going to live on this? Again, lack. See? Other people think of money as dirty, or they think of people who have plenty of money, they think of them, well, they must have done something to get that money, something dishonest. That's a lack attitude. All this creates resistance in the flow. Creates resistance. When we're trusting, Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity with his wife Myrtle, said the more you rely on God as your source, the more you will see good flow into your life. The more we rely on other sources, the less we see. So it's important that, and I'm not talking about just physical stuff, I'm talking about inner peace, joy, security, I'm talking about money, jobs, opportunities, all of that. And I'm encouraging us to let money represent something positive for us. So here's some suggestions. Let's look at money as a symbol of God's presence in our life. There's a word that we use in the Unity movement. It's called substance. God as substance. It comes from the Latin word, which means sub, to stand under. Substance, standing under. That underneath all physical form is God's substance, God energy. It's underneath everything. Our body is an expression of God's substance. The chair, the couch you're sitting in is God's substance. Ideas are God's substance. Everything, energy, the underlying energy that creates all form is God's substance. And our money can represent that when we think of it in that terms. This is how I like to think about it in relation to this, which is this. When you think about a good or a service that you receive in your life, how did all that come about? It came about because of God's substance expressing through people. Somebody got an idea for that product or that service. And through their faith in that idea, through the determination, through the energy, through the support and the cooperation of others, they brought that idea into a service that is bringing a benefit to us. Or some goods that we receive. All that went into that is some benefit to us. What are we saying? We're saying that God's substance inspired that idea. God's substance gave that person faith and determination. Whether they call it that or not doesn't matter. But it was there working in their life. It worked in the people who cooperated with them to bring it forth. And so when we handle money, basically that money, it represents the value that we believe that service for us is worth, but it means it represents all that happened to bring that service or goods into expression. You see how money can be a symbol of God's substance, infinite substance? Some people, when they pay their check, their bills, they're like, oh God, I'm giving away money, la la la. No, you're giving expression to God's substance. You're receiving a benefit. You're receiving God's activity through other people to bring you some benefit, and now you are helping to support that. This is God's energy and expression. So money can represent infinite God substance. Think about the dollar bill, right? You have a dollar bill. Did you ever stop to think about what's on one side? You see the numbers, right? That's kind of limited. A dollar bill is worth how much? Hopefully $1. You turn it over, and what do you see? It becomes infinite. Your dollar bill becomes infinite. In God we trust. In God we trust. On the green side. Yeah. Let your money, when you're handling money, let it represent not just a dollar bill, but in God we trust. In God I trust. Now you turn from, well, it's only $1, to the infinite presence of God expressing through me, through this dollar. Same as a $5 bill. In God we trust. $20 bill. In God we trust. $100 bill. In God we trust. Never seen a $1,000 bill. We got one? In God we trust. Whatever it is, in God we trust. See, having an attitude of connecting that money to the infinite source opens us up to positive attitudes. Jesus said, lay up treasures in heaven. Lay up positive attitudes within your being. And this is one way to do it. Shift any kind of negative attitudes about money. Imagine what your life and my life will express or continue to express as we develop the practice, whenever we're thinking about money or handling money, that God is my source. And this money is symbolic of God's activity in my life. Money is an enabling symbol. Oh, and you can also, I was just thinking the credit card too. A lot of us are using credit cards now. This can be a symbol of God's activity in our life too, whenever you use a credit card. What do? Well, you could slide it, right? That's what we did for a long time. And I think this little black strip here on the back could represent a river being in the flow. You're in the flow of God's current. You're in the flow of God's currency as you slide this card. Many of us now are put the chip in, insert the chip. All right, plug into the source. Obviously, it's not their machine, but when you're putting your card in, think, I'm plugging into the source of my infinite good, and I'm receiving goods and services, and I am letting more of God flow into my life, flow into their life, and be a blessing to all of us. I mean, money is a symbol of God's substance, and it's a symbol, it's an enabling symbol. When you give somebody money, you're enabling activity to happen, aren't you? When you give somebody money, money is something that inspires faith and trust and gets activity going. Money inspires cooperation. When you go to the grocery store and you pay for groceries, you give them money, and what happens? They pay their distributor, and the distributor pays the supplier, and the supplier pays the farmer. And the farmer uses money to go out and buy seeds and to go out and buy feed, to feed the animals. It's an enabling symbol that causes all this divine activity to happen. Because all these people are employed, all these people are working, they're bringing forth food from the earth in trucks and boats and shelving it and doing all that stuff to get it to you and to me. It's God's activity. Money is a symbol of God's activity. And I'd like you to know that for yourself. Money is good. Would you say that with me together? Money is good. Money is God in action. Together, money is God in action. Now we're going to say the whole thing together. Money is good. Money is God in action. Together, money is good. Money is God in action. Now that positive attitude, ladies and gentlemen, you take that consciousness whenever you handle money, you are taking yourself out of any kind of resistance, and you are opening yourself to the divine current, to the divine flow unfolding from within you into your life. And that is exciting. That brings chills to me. I don't know about you. Get in tune with that divine flow of substance that's always available to you. Charles Fillmore said, watch your thoughts when you're handling your money, because your money is attached through the mind to the one source of all substance and all money. When you think of your money, which is visible, as something directly attached to an invisible source that is giving or withholding according to your thought, you have the key to all riches and all lack. Have a positive attitude toward money and attract whatever is needed. Attract whatever is needed. Some people don't have a lot of money. Well, remember, money is a symbol of unlimited substance. What we're doing is we're tuning in to the substance. Let the money be a symbol of that substance. It's the substance. It's the presence and activity of God that is our support. Now, here's a very important point. Sometimes people pray, God, I need money. Give me money. I need money. I want money. Here's the challenge to that. Remember, the universe is infinite. Remember, God is infinite. It doesn't know about need and I want. I want money. It knows about abundance. Look around you. Look around you. There's not just one sand grain on the beach. There's billions. There's not just one kind of flower. There are many kinds of flowers. There's not just one galaxy. There are millions of galaxies, at least. There's not just a handful of people. There are billions of people on the planet, right? God is abundance. The universe is abundance. Don't ask, I want God, because now the universe, through the law of mind action, the law of attraction, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind, you're creating more I want. I want money. Now I'm creating more I want money. More situations. Let us affirm, as the Wayshower said, whatsoever you ask in prayer, believe that you have already received it. Now, asking comes from the word claim. Claim. You're claiming, you're believing that you have received it. You're getting your consciousness into a state of abundance, of receiving. Here's a wonderful statement that I first learned from Dr. Wayne Dyer, the late Dr. Wayne Dyer. I have enough money, and the enough that I have, I allow to flow to me. I have enough money, and I allow the enough that I have to flow to me. Know that within yourself. How does that feel inside yourself? I have enough money. Well, I can hear someone's thoughts come, well, I don't have enough money. We're saying get yourself in the consciousness of abundance. Get yourself in the state of I have enough, and then allow the universe to bring that enoughness to flow into your life. I have enough money, and I allow the enough that I have to flow into my life. I encourage you to write that down. I encourage you to take time to say that to yourself whenever you have a negative thought about money, about the economy, about the government, about anything at all. Remember that truth. Say it in the morning, say it before you go to bed, whatever else you need to do. Not because it's a magic wand. It's not a magic wand. It gets your consciousness into the flow. That's the power of that. You are getting yourself into the flow that is within you. It's the substance that is your source. Trust that underlying source of good in your life. I know a lot of people are struggling right now, A lot of people are wondering, how are they going to pay the bills? How are they going to meet? How are they going to have enough food for their family? I get that, and I know that's a fact for many people. But the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why we're talking about this today, is let's make God our source. Let's unblock the resistance and let us know that we're going to be guided and directed. I want to close with a story about James Matar, who was from Jerusalem, Jordan. This is many years ago. He was an official for Barclays Bank. And then there was struggles and hostilities in that area. So he and his wife and his small children escaped. They lost their home. They lost their money, their possessions. They escaped with just a few shillings, which is, back then it was like less than $1. And they escaped into Bethany in Jordan. And things were dark, things were hard, things were tough. And they got to the point where they were absolutely penniless. They didn't know how they were going to meet their next meal. But James and his family believed in the source. They had faith in God. And they took a moment to get still. He gathered his family around and they prayed. And he thanked God that God was going to provide, that God was showing them the way, that God was guiding and directing them. And in that prayer, he got a distinct impression to take the empty baskets and go to the local market. So he took those baskets and take your eldest son Samuel with you. So he got the baskets, and as they were going to the market, his son Sam said, "Papa, we don't have any money to buy anything. Why are we going to the market?" And James said, "Because the Lord has told us to go there, has directed us to go there." So they got to the market with their empty baskets. They sat down and waited. And all of a sudden, a man was walking down the street and he started toward James. And the man said, "Hello, my old friend. How have you been? It's been a long time." It was a friend who was an employee back at Barclays Bank in the old days. And they started chatting, and James said nothing about his dire condition. Nothing. And at one point, his friend said, "Is it presumptuous of me to think that you might be in hard times right now?" And he pulled out a 5-pound note. "Please take this as a symbol of our friendship." Well, James was so moved by how God had worked through that man to meet his need that he could barely express his gratitude. And after the man left, that was just enough money to keep them going until the UN was able to bring in relief supplies for people. And then eventually James was able to get back on his feet and to find work that supplied and met their needs. And after the man left, his son said, "Dad, Papa, did you know he was going to be coming by?" And James said, "No, Sammy, we're in God's hands, and God is good. You have just seen a demonstration of God's providence." No matter what you're facing in your life, whatever it might be, whether it's about physical challenge, relationship challenge, concern about the world, or finances, remember, you're a child of God. You're in God's hands. Try to let go of the fear and trust. You're in God's hands, and God is good. God bless you.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear and there's no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I will never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met, no doubt in my mind where you belong. If you're hungry, if you're black and blue, I go crawling down the avenue. There is nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea and on the highway of regret. Oh, the winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. Oh, I can make you happy, make your dreams come true. There is nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the end of the earth for you to make you feel my love. To make you feel my love. To make you feel my love.
I see you going forth this day and every day as an empowered child of God, an expression of God, with faith and trust and courage and strength to tune in to that presence within you. In the midst of all the attitudes that we see around us and hear around us, no matter what's going on around you, moving forward solid in that faith that God is your source, that you and your family and your loved ones are being taken care of, that you're being guided and directed, and that you have the courage to follow the guidance that you receive so that you can experience the blessings that Spirit is always seeking to flow into your life. And so it is. Amen. I want to thank you for tuning in to us today. Again, it's great being back here at the center for the first time back at the center as far as filming goes. We don't have people here yet. We'll let you know when that time comes, when we can actually have congregants in here. But how wonderful that we can be back in this space, which you might have noticed has been renovated. There have been changes to this space. We have stage and lighting and sound and all that's gone on. And so I just want to thank everyone who has helped make that happen. Thank you to, Lucid and Denise and his company that has helped make this happen. And special thanks to Debbie Mullinax, my operations manager, and Justin Morley, and everyone involved to help. There's been an enormous amount of energy and effort to get all this together and to get us online like this back at the space. And so just a special thanks to everyone who helped make this happen. And thank you for your support in helping to make this happen so that we can fulfill our mission of global spiritual enlightenment to bring that message to a broader audience, including you, the person sitting next to you, if there is somebody, to your cat who is in the room, to whoever. Well, they teach us how to be enlightened, right? We just have to watch them. Just to a bigger audience to make a difference on the planet. So thank you, everyone. Please join me now for our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yes. Thank you also to Jeannette Bayardelle and to Bill and Betsy Peterson for being with us today musically. I love seeing Bill and Betsy. When I was a minister in Hilton Head Island, they were a key part of our music program there in Hilton Head Island. So when I hear the wonderful music they bring, it stirs up that wonderful memory and feeling. They're special people, and so is Jeannette. Jeannette is so talented. She's able to be different expressions whenever I see her. It's just awesome. Anyway, let's let our light shine. Let's be peace in the world. Let's help bring peace in the world, because it starts with you and it starts with me. Let's all now sing together the peace song. See you next time.
Let there be peace on earth and